charter bus carrying local students crashes during a trip through Moore Park. Recovery efforts continue after the dive boat fire off the coast of California. And as new study reveals more bad news for soft drink consumers. This is 17 News at noon. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maddie Jansen. A bus full of Bakersfield students on a field trip crashed on a Ventura County freeway this morning. It happened along Highway 118 in Simi Valley. The students from Horizon Elementary School in the Greenfield School District were headed to the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. The bus crashed with two other vehicles, but fortunately there were only minor injuries. Ventura County Fire says there were 33 students and 7 adults on board that bus. 3 students from the bus and 2 people from the other vehicles were treated for minor injuries. The charter bus, meantime, sent another bus to pick up the 5th graders and those adults and chaperones with them who were not hurt and take them on to the library. The district says the kids who were treated have since been released and are rejoining their classmates on the field trip at the library. CHP is investigating the crash. They have not said what caused it. The 118 is now open and clear. The district says all parents have been notified. We turn now to the tragedy off the southern coast. The search has been suspended for survivors of the deadly boat fire near the Channel Islands. So far, 20 bodies have been recovered, and in total, 34 people are presumed dead. The dive boat Conception somehow burst into flames yesterday morning. It now sits on the ocean floor off the coast of Santa Cruz Island. 39 people were on board, taking part in a 3-day diving cruise. 5 crew members were able to jump from the boat into the water and were rescued. The remaining 34 were reportedly asleep below deck, and the only stairway was engulfed in flames. The hope was some had made it out and swam to shore, but this morning that search was suspended and crews shifted into recovery mode.
Our hope is that we will be able to penetrate the wreckage today, stabilize the vessel, penetrate the wreckage, conduct an investigation, search it, and then recover any remains that are in the boat.
A makeshift memorial is now set up at the harbor in Santa Barbara, where the Conception embarked from on Saturday. A steady stream of mourners flowed there yesterday. The Santa Barbara sheriff says most people on board were from Santa Cruz, San Jose, and the Bay Area region. And there are reports the victims range in age from as young as 17 to people in their 60s. When the Mayday call went out, the boat was already engulfed in flames. And we are learning the passengers on board who were below deck sleeping had little chance of escape. 17's Alex Fisher has a look at the panic aboard the Conception.
Panic in the Pacific. A frantic call for help.
Vessel in distress. This is Coast Guard Sector Los Angeles on Channel 16. What is your position and number of persons on board? Over.
I can't hear you. 39 COE.
39 people were on board when flames took over the vessel early Monday morning. The Coast Guard and other agencies responded.
This is probably the worst case scenario you could possibly have. You have a vessel that's on the open sea that is in the middle of the night. I mean, at 3:30 in the morning. Fire is the scourge of any ship.
And officials say survival is looking less likely.
I think we all should be prepared to move into the worst outcome.
The Conception was ending a 3-day diving cruise. The boat had a bunk-style sleeping arrangement under the main deck and only one way out.
There's a small staircase that goes down below. If it's engulfed in flames, there's no way the crew could get down in time to help them. I know the ship.
The crew jumped to safety.
5 people were evacuated aboard a Good Samaritan pleasure craft known as the Grape Escape.
The end of a holiday weekend exploring the wonders of California's southern coast instead became the start of a search for those missing.
Alex Fisher reporting. Meantime, a Central Valley couple were the ones to come to the rescue of the 5 crew members who made it off the Conception. Bob Hansen says he and his wife Shirley were in a cove near Santa Cruz Island. Around 3:30 yesterday morning, they heard calls for help, then saw the inferno that was the Conception.
It had actually, the entire boat was engulfed. Like it was from the bow to the stern and 30-foot flames. It was just terrible. It was just completely lit up. I mean, there was not a place on the boat where it wasn't on fire.
Hansen says the crew jumped off the Conception in their underwear, then used a dinghy line on the back of the boat to escape. They told Hansen they weren't able to save anyone else on board because the escape route was on fire. Hansen says one crew member had a broken leg and another had a sprained ankle. The 3 crew members who weren't hurt went back on the dinghy to search for survivors with a flashlight, but they weren't able to find anyone alive.
I feel so sad, you know, had they been able to all abandon boat, I have more than enough room to put the entire crew on board, the entire guests and everything on board. You know, but it's just,
the fire starts like that,
they couldn't get out.
Yeah, and if they're all underneath,
They were all underneath and couldn't get out. According to the captain and the crew, their main exit was through the galley, and the galley was on fire. They had actually opened the door to try to get in there and to get to them, and it was all on fire. At that time, they said ceiling tiles were falling out of the top of out of the ceiling in the galley.
A crew member told Hansen his girlfriend was sleeping below deck and he wasn't able to help her. Hansen also said the crew told him the boat was hosting 3 birthday parties, including one for a 17-year-old girl who was on board with her parents. Just tragic. All right, let's go ahead and switch over and take a look at your forecast on this Tuesday and another warm day out there, Kev.
Yeah, it is going to be another warm day. We've got clear skies out there. We're currently at 91 degrees with a northwest wind at 9 miles per hour. As we take a look at the temperatures this afternoon, we're going to be right near 100 again, slipping back into the 80s by 10 o'clock. And then for the mountains, we're at 88 degrees currently with a northwest wind at 13. So we'll see that breeze as we continue on here into the afternoon. And your temperatures this afternoon expected to be right near 90, then slipping back into the lower 70s right around 10 o'clock. We'll talk much more about your weather. That's coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Court watch now. A man accused in a 4-month-old baby's death was found guilty of second-degree murder this morning. That little baby, 4-month-old Anakin McKee. In 2017, court documents say Daniel McKee originally told investigators he tripped while holding the baby, but later said he was frustrated by the cost of the treatment the baby needed. McKee is not the boy's biological father. Today, the jury found him guilty of second-degree murder and assault on a child causing injury. McKee faces 25 years to life in prison. The Bakersfield Police Department and family of an officer who died last month after a long battle with valley fever remembered him today. BPD Chief Lyle Martin remembered his long history with Detective Kevin Hawk.
He was one of my cover officers when I worked undercover narcotics, and I was always comfortable because I knew Kevin would always be on his game. Now, all fun and games changed when Kevin became the range master. And we had deep conversations about keeping people safe and what it meant to be a range master and the responsibilities that it meant.
Martin and Hawk met in the 80s before either was an officer. He said that his own career began as a bet between he and Hawk over who could pass the entrance exam first. They both eventually became officers, and later on, Hawk went on to be a K-9 officer, a SWAT officer, and a detective. His family says he loved his job and his community. And you can watch the full service for Detective Kevin Hawk on our KGET Facebook page. We're tracking Hurricane Dorian. The storm picks up speed in its trek toward the U.S. We'll have the latest on its path next. Welcome back. Hurricane Dorian has weakened slightly and it's picking up speed. A mad scramble is underway along parts of the East Coast with more than 1 million people from Florida to the Carolinas evacuating ahead of the hurricane. NBC's Craig Melvin reports from Jupiter, Florida.
This morning, Hurricane Dorian is crawling closer to the U.S. mainland.
The anxiety levels are really high.
Local mayors telling us residents are taking this monster storm seriously.
So our preparation has been, I think, top-notch.
The people who were advised to get out in those evacuation zones, by and large, did they heed the warnings, or?
All indications seem to be yes.
Okay.
However, our biggest concern at this point, since the storm is moving so slow, is that complacency will set in.
In coastal communities all along the southeast, an exodus is underway.
I'm worried about the flooding at this point.
More than 1 million people on the move from Florida through Georgia and South Carolina, driven by mandatory evacuations. Savannah, Georgia's mayor urging residents to go while they still can.
It doesn't take but one time to lose your life.
South Carolina's governor insisting no one should wait to evacuate.
Predictions are we're going to have wind, water. That hurricane can go one way or the other. Nobody knows.
so be safe.
Residents of low-lying Charleston not taking chances, already boarding up and stocking up on sandbags to hopefully keep Dorian's expected storm surge at bay. Back in Florida, getting out by air is getting harder. Airports in Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and Orlando all shut down. More than 120 shelters filling up with people who've decided it's just too dangerous to risk riding out the powerful storm at home.
I'm more scared about this one than I've ever been one in Florida before.
Dozens of medical facilities and nursing homes in the storm zone rushing patients to higher ground. And power crews are staged and ready to roll, along with 4,500 members of Florida's National Guard.
So this is a board that's going to give us live feed.
And if the storm hits West Palm Beach, new state-of-the-art technology will pinpoint where help is needed.
The pictures that they take and the information that they write down, we're going to get live time so we can start pushing resources to them quickly.
And with the timing and path of Hurricane Dorian still very unpredictable, officials remain on high alert across the southeast. Virginia's governor has declared a state of emergency, the 5th state to do so in preparation for the hurricane's possible impacts. Now we say it's picking up speed. Moving now, what, about 2 miles per hour, Kev?
We're going to look at the latest data because it probably just came in while we're in that package. We're at a Category 2. Remember, the storm started as a Category 5, and we're starting to see it weaken slightly, and now at a Category 2. And again, it is slowly moving north along the Florida coastline. Many people have asked, why didn't it go straight west over Florida? And this is the reason. We have high pressure to the west, high pressure to the east, and so this is kind of guiding it right along the Florida coastline and moving it more in a northerly direction. Here's a look at the latest. Again, we've got sustained winds at 110 miles per hour, Category 2. How fast is it moving? Well, we've bumped it up 4 miles per hour. It's at the northwest at 5 miles per hour now. It will continue on as a Category 2 as it rides the coast of Florida into parts of Georgia and then into the Carolinas as we go throughout the work week. And by Friday, it'll kind of march up to the north. And by the weekend, it'll be just off the coast of the northeast. 91 degrees here in Bakersfield right now. A northwest wind at 9 miles per hour. And skies are clear. Nothing developing out there for us. We've got 90 in Delano, 88 in Buttonwillow, 93 in Taft. Into the mountains, we've got 80s and 90s. Tehachapi at 88 with 96 out of Lake Isabella. Here's a look at regional temperatures. Upper 60s right now in the Bay Area, 90 in Fresno, and lower 80s down to the south in LA and San Diego. We're at 101 in Vegas, 94 in Arvin. A few clouds, but that is about it. Golden Hills, a beautiful start to the afternoon and a temperature of 84. Satellite and radar for California showing a few isolated thunderstorms trying to develop south and east of the desert here. You can see it carved out and well off to the east of us. So I'm not looking at much activity into the Kern County area today. 96 in Sacramento, 102 in Fresno, 90s for Los Angeles with 83 out of San Diego. Vegas today at 104. High pressure still sitting over the Four Corners region. And then we've got a trough developing out to the west. This will impact our weather by late into the weekend into early next week, and that means cooler weather will be on the way, and you're going to see that on the extended forecast here in just a second. Futurecast HD does show some of that thunderstorm activity that could develop east of our area throughout the afternoon, but right now it looks like Kern County will be clear. 105 on the air quality today. That puts you unhealthy for sensitive groups, and your forecast calling for 100 in Bakersfield, 99 in Delano, 97 out in Maricopa for the mountains in the Kern River Valley, 88 in Frazier Park, 90 in Tehachapi with 90s into the Kern River Valley, 96 Lake Isabella. I still kept that 10% chance in there as we see the afternoon heating and some instability to the east. You know, at times we've seen some of those drift into the valley and up into the mountains, so we'll watch for that. 101 in California City, 104 in Ridgecrest, a southwest wind 10 to 20. Your extended forecast keep you right near 100 through about Thursday, Friday, but then Sunday, Monday, we can be looking at the lower 90s. And then for the mountains, also cooler weather on the way by next weekend. Lower 80s Sunday and Monday in the Kern River Valley forecast. There is another slight chance of a thunderstorm developing Thursday, sunny for the weekend, and upper 80s by Sunday.
Beautiful.
Yeah, not a bad forecast heading into that weekend.
All right, thanks, Kev. Yep. Your 17 Health Watch now, yet another warning about soft drinks. A new European study finds regular and diet sodas are linked to an increased risk of early death. Researchers followed nearly 452,000 people for 16 years. Those who had at least 2 soft drinks per day were more likely to die, especially from circulatory or digestive diseases. That's compared to those who drank less than 1 per month. There was no association between soft drink consumption and overall cancer death. It's an important part of your kiddo's school day, lunch. Dietitians say your child needs 4 things in that meal: protein, grains, fruits, and veggies. But making back-to-school lunches can get boring really fast. Haley Hernandez tells us about a meal plan from Baylor College of Medicine to keep every week interesting.
Toasty Tuesday means your school lunch could be breakfast foods like these egg bites.
Egg, a splash of skim milk. I have spinach, and I sprinkled a little bit of cheese.
Bake at 350 in a muffin pan and serve with fruit, veggies, and a whole grain waffle, or consider cereal for lunch.
So we want a serving of cereal to have at least 3 grams of fiber in it and less than 9 grams of sugar per serving.
That could include whole grain Cheerios, Chex, or Bran Flakes. Wacky Wednesday is time to clear out the leftovers. Send what you had for dinner this week, and it helps add variety to the otherwise boring sack lunches.
We've got a cold chicken leg, some broccoli with ranch dressing, a spoonful or 2 of potato salad, and then watermelon. Very colorful. It's got protein, fruits and vegetables. It's got a starch, which is your potato salad, so it's all inclusive.
Thermos Thursdays could be anything warm: soup, macaroni, beans and rice, chili, or oatmeal. And let's not forget the treat.
Because we always say treats are okay in moderation. This is what moderation looks like.
Yes, that's what moderation looks like.
And King says after-school snacks need to include protein and fiber to stay full until dinner, and
they need that snack because they may not be getting all 3 servings of dairy at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or they may not be meeting their fruit or vegetable requirements. So snack is a great time to add those in.
It could look like this: string cheese and an apple, turkey cheese and tomato, Greek yogurt with berries, popcorn, orange, and pecans, or this healthy version of a Rice Krispie treat.
Whole grain cereal, peanut butter, and honey.
Sounds good to me. For the last day of the week, Friday, she suggests this be a fun day to get kids involved. Maybe give them the ingredients to put together their own pizza, a taco, or a quesadilla. It is hard to keep coming up with those ideas. I know how that goes. Still ahead, is real estate the right investment for you? And is now a good time to buy? We'll tell you why the experts highly recommend it in your 17 Business Watch after the break.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
We're back on your 17 Business Watch. The Dow drops more than 300 points amid new U.S.-China tariffs. The Dow down about 318 points so far in trading. The Nasdaq down 105, and the S&P 500 is down 26. Let's check out oil prices while we're at it. West Texas Intermediate is selling for $54.10 a barrel, and Midway Sunset started the day at $57.10 a barrel. When it comes to investing money, where are you putting your hard-earned cash? A new survey reveals real estate tops the list of long-term investments. In today's Consumer Watch, the top reasons they're investing in property.
I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich.
Hollywood has glamorized making fast money on stocks, but they're no longer America's favorite long-term investment. A new Bankrate survey finds real estate is king, and real estate experts are not surprised.
It's not sexy like some of these cryptocurrencies might be, or when the stock market has a big run. But that's also why I love it. It is much more predictable than other asset classes, and you make money in several different ways.
Stocks ranked a distant second in the survey. Cash investments like a savings account finished third, followed by gold and precious metals. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies ranked the lowest in the survey. If you're thinking about investing in property, experts say take advantage of historically low interest rates and buy a rental property and get tenants to pay off your mortgage.
The easiest way that you could ever become a millionaire is to take out $1 million in real estate debt and let somebody else pay it off for you.
Experts also say real estate is a hedge against inflation. As the house goes up in value, rents also climb, but your mortgage payment stays the same.
That creates a difference in how much you're paying versus how much you're earning. And the bigger of a difference that you get, the more money that you're able to make.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
The Bankrate survey says millennials are the most drawn to real estate as a long-term investment compared to any other generation. Well, new movies are released for home viewing. We'll take a look in your 17 Entertainment News next. Welcome back. Entertainment news now. If you need a little vacation after the long holiday weekend, you won't have to go any further than your couch. There are several summer movies coming online for home viewers this week. Raphael Seth has the video view.
Come on. World's not going to save itself.
Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson fight an infinity war in Men in Black International. The Avengers co-stars reunite for a different alien-battling franchise. Thompson plays a new hire in the organization she's been trying to find since she was a little girl. Hemsworth is the veteran agent she's paired with. Together, they circle the globe in an effort to stop a new crew of shape-shifting invaders. Men in Black is available on digital, DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K.
Excuse me, would you mind buying this for my friends and I?
Teenage drinking becomes a huge problem in Ma. Oscar winner Octavia Spencer is the title character, a middle-aged woman who offers to let some high schoolers use her house for a party. But the kids' new boozy godmother becomes increasingly possessive, and they soon discover Spencer has a connection to their parents and is looking to avenge past wrongs. Ma is on digital, DVD, and Blu-ray.
We have to go to a party tonight.
What? Nobody knows that we are fun.
Good girls turn super bad in Booksmart. Olivia Wilde makes her directing debut with this last chance comedy. Caitlin Dever and Beanie Feldstein play high school best friends. They've dedicated their entire lives to good deeds and better grades, but on the day of their high school graduation, they decide to make up for lost time and become valedictorians of the party scene. Booksmart is on digital, DVD, and Blu-ray. That's the Video View. Raphael Seth, NBC News.
When we come back here on 17 News at noon, an amazing landing by a student pilot when his instructor goes unconscious.
Well, welcome back. Finally at noon, a trainee pilot in Australia is forced to make an emergency landing when his flight instructor falls unconscious due to a heart attack.
It just gives me chills thinking about it. Max Sylvester was having his first lesson when the incident occurred. Sylvester called air traffic control after his instructor collapsed during the flight. The controller guided Sylvester through the landing after the trainee pilot told him it was his first flying lesson. Sylvester landed the plane safely at an airport. Local media reports the instructor was taken into the hospital in serious but stable condition. Can you imagine?
No, I couldn't imagine. And I read more on that story that the pilot actually had a heart attack in flight.
Oh.
And so he was leaning on the student's shoulder.
Wow.
Yeah.
To be able to keep your composure in a situation.
Not knowing what's wrong with your instructor.
And land this plane that you've never flown.
Yeah, I think he gets an A on that in terms of landing an airplane.
Should probably go ahead and get his license.
Right
I'm thinking, right? Isn't
That's
that
the
a good final exam there?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us here for 17 News at noon. We'll see you back tonight at 5 and 6. Have a great Tuesday, everyone.
17 News, your local news leader, continues 24 hours a day on KGET.com and our 17 News app. In the spirit of the Golden Empire, 17 News.